I never thought of myself as the glue. Glue is supposed to be messy and obvious, something you notice only when it fails. I was quieter than that. I was the invisible kind, the kind that holds everything together without anyone ever seeing the seams. For years, I lived in my parents' house in suburban Ohio, the middle child who never quite left. At first, it was practical. College loans, a dead-end job at the insurance call center, and an economy that kept kicking 20. Something's back home. But somewhere along the way, practicality turned into necessity. My necessity. My name is Emily, and I kept the house running. Mom's rheumatoid. Arthritis got worse every winter. I was the one who refilled her prescriptions at 2 a.m. when the pharmacy app glitched, who drove her to physical therapy. When her hands hurt too much to grip the steering wheel, and who remembered which Medicare supplement form needed to be faxed by the 15th. Dad worked construction and came home smelling like sawdust and resentment. After his long shifts, he was too tired for anything except collapsing on the recliner, so I walked Max. Our old golden retriever paid the utility bills online and made sure the cable didn't get cut off when he forgot the passwords again. I cooked most nights. I cleaned the gutters in fall. I even learned how to reset the Wi-Fi router, because Dad would lose his mind every time the grandkids came over and slowed down. The internet. No one ever said thank you. Not really. It was just expected. I was the daughter who stayed, the reliable one, the one who didn't make waves. Then I turned 28. It was a Tuesday in late October. I came home from my shift to find my clothes, my laptop, and the few boxes of books I owned scattered. Across the front lawn, like cheap garage sale rejects. Dad stood on the porch with his phone up, filming everything in vertical mode for his Facebook page. Mom hovered behind him, arms crossed, eyes red but dry. "You're 28 years old, Emily," Dad barked, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. "Time to stop freeloading off your parents. We're not running a hotel." I stood there in my work scrubs, keys still in my hand, staring at my life dumped on the grass. A pair of my old sneakers had landed in the flower bed. Max was barking inside the house, confused. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just started picking up my things and loading them into my beat-up Honda Civic. One box at a time. Folded shirts. A cracked photo frame of me and my sister. At graduation. The dog's spare leash I'd bought last month. Dad kept filming, narrating like he was some reality TV star. Teaching my daughter Emily responsibility. Tough love, folks. When the car was full, I closed the trunk, got in, and drove away without looking back. The last thing I saw in the rearview mirror was Dad still. Holding his phone up, Mom turning to go inside. 10 days later, the text started. "Mom, Emily, honey, where did you put the insurance cards?" The pharmacy says they. "Need the new group number. Dad, cable is out. What's the damn password? Call me." "Mom again. I went to Costco and they wouldn't let me use your card." "Did you cancel it?" I cried in the parking lot. People were staring. I didn't answer right away. I was sleeping on my friend Jenna's couch in Columbus, applying for every apartment I could afford on my salary. For the first time in years, my evenings were quiet. No one needed me to schedule doctor appointments or explain why the electric bill was higher this month. No one filmed me for content when I made a mistake. On day 12, Dad called. His voice was tight, angry in that way that meant he was scared. "The house is a mess. Your mother can't figure out the online bill pay." I spent 3 hours on the phone with the cable company and they still won't turn it back on. Max keeps pacing by the door, waiting for you to walk him. What the hell did you do to everything, Emily? I sat on Jenna's couch, staring at the cheap beige carpet. I didn't do anything, Dad, I said quietly. I just stopped doing everything. There was a long silence. You made us look like fools, he finally muttered. No, I replied, I was the fool. For thinking that if I kept holding everything together, maybe one day you'd see I wasn't the burden. I was the infrastructure. The invisible glue. I heard Mom crying in the background. Not the dramatic kind she used when she wanted sympathy. The real kind. The kind that comes when the world you took for granted suddenly stops working. I didn't go back. Not that week. Not the next month. I found a tiny studio apartment near my job. I bought my own groceries. I paid my own bills on time. And for the first time, I started to feel what it was like to live without carrying the weight of someone else's dysfunction on my shoulders. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about that Tuesday in October. About my clothes on the lawn and Dad's phone recording my humiliation for likes and comments from people who didn't know us. I don't hate them, not really. But I finally understand something they never will. The strongest glue is the kind you never notice until the day it's gone. And when it's gone, everything falls apart.